Welcome back to the Amusing Greg. If you buy a second-hand caravan, one of the first jobs you should do is to check the anode in the hot water service. It's a quick and inexpensive job, but it could save you a $1,200 repair bill. I have actually already started to pull this out, which is part of the reason I wanted to film this. But I just wanted to show you what they're supposed to look like. So this is what an anode looks like. Every hot water service, at least these gas hot water services, they all have them. And that's designed to, this is designed to corrode rather than hot water service. So you get a reaction with the electricity and the water in the hot water service that will normally corrode out the shell of the hot water service. So to prevent that, they put a magnesium or an aluminium anode inside it, and this will corrode instead of the hot water service. Of course, once this is completely gone, it'll then start attacking your hot water service. So to get this off, it's a 27mm socket. 27mm socket. So here's now, as I said, I've already undone this, but I wanted to show you. The anode sits right down the bottom. Normally that'd be the 27mm socket sitting on there. Just loosen that off. This acts as the drain plug as well. So before you do this, you want to make sure that you release the pressure. So you go inside the van, turn the water pump off, and then make sure that you open the hot and the cold water tap, just to make sure there's no pressure in the system. If you don't do that, when you undo this, it's going to come out like a rocket, because it's going to have all that pressure behind it. Anyway, so we've done that. See that? That was just from the little test we did before. Now, it wasn't a huge amount. Anyway, so here's the anode, and this is what mine looks like. That's what it's supposed to look like. So this steel rod in the middle is what's designed to hold it all together. That doesn't corrode. This is magnesium around the outside that's supposed to corrode, and it is completely gone. As you can see, none of that material is left. Here's some here actually. Okay, so that's bits of corroded magnesium. So I'm going to let that run out, and then we're going to have to flush all of that stuff out. So I'll show you how to do that in a second once this is emptied. Alright, that's all done now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, going to squirt into the hot water service for this to try to get all of that material out. Look at all that. That's what you want to get out. How do you like that in your cup of tea? Or in your shower? Fresh mineral spa, anyone? Magnesium baths coming up. Alright, so I've done that for a minute or so, and you can see the colour of the water that's come out of there. You can see quite a bit of that magnesium that's corroded, and that's what it's supposed to do, but you can see how much of it's come off. Now, there is a special tool you can get, a special attachment you can get for a tap, which has got like a really small little fitting. You can go in around the corners. I don't have one of those. You can just do it with a high pressure nozzle. Do that a couple of times and you'll get most of it out, and there's still going to be bits that are around the corner that you may not be able to get out. Has that got every last bit of it out? No, probably not, but it certainly got a lot more than what was there before. Now, we're about ready to put the new anode in, but a couple of things first. Now, there's some aftermarket anodes like this on the market. I think this one's a genuine one based on the length of it, although I can't be sure. This one's an aftermarket one. Now, they come in different lengths, the aftermarket ones. They don't always fit. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that the anode is not going to be so long that the end of it hits the back of the hot water surface. Alright, and then I use that as a depth gauge, and that's how long it is. And as you can see, that's going to be long enough to fit this anode. The reason you want to do that is you don't want to have this bottoming out in the hot water surface and then not actually getting enough thread material in there. Okay, next thing. Next, grab some plumber's tape and wrap some around the threads to make sure it's completely watertight. This is a right-hand thread that screws in clockwise, so make sure you wrap the tape on anti-clockwise. This makes sure the loose tail at the end of the tape is at the trailing edge as you tighten it up, so it doesn't bunch up and undo itself. Now we're going to slide the new anode into place. Now, because it's naturally going to hang down by its weight, you have to position it a little bit to try to push it down a little bit so the threads don't go down at an angle. Sort of push it down on the bottom a little bit so the thread's light, and then it should turn in quite smoothly. Now, I mentioned before that it's a 27mm nut for that. If you don't have a 27mm socket, you can just use a shifter. It'll just take a little bit longer, so you can do it like that. It's just obviously a lot easier if you have a socket that's the right size. And last thing, of course, is to do is to turn the pump back on and give it a test to make sure you've got no leaks. Just let that run for a bit to fill up. It'll take a couple of minutes to fill up. Because this toilet sink is a little bit higher, I'm going to open that one. Here comes all the air. Okay, and now we're nearly done. Here comes the water. And now we're going to make sure the pressure holds. Turned off, and let's go and check for leaks. As you can see, no leaks coming out of there at all. That's exactly what we want. So as you can see, this is not a difficult job to do, but it's a really important job to do if you've got yourself a second-hand caravan. If the anode has failed or completely corroded out as this one had, it's just going to be destroying a hot water service. The anode costs about $35, $50, depending where you go. A hot water service, I wouldn't have a clue what the cost is. It might be $1,000. It's really cheap insurance. So if you've got yourself in another van, make sure you check this as one of the first things to make sure that you don't end up with a really costly repair bill on your hot water service. Hope that's been helpful. That's all for now, so I'll catch you next time.